everybody. Welcome to Walnut Lodge, Volant location, Saturday morning flow. It's 8:30. It's nice and cold outside. This is the end of our second week of our winter intensives. So I'm imagining that those of you that have been practicing all week are a little sore. So today's going to be kind of a stretchy class, but we're going to start out with some cats. So we might need a block, you might need a strap, and you probably will need a blanket or a bolster or something to put your knee on. Alright, so let's stretch ourselves. Arms forward, hips back, settle down and in. And breathe. Dropping down into the hips. Keep reaching the arms out, trying to feel the torso expanding, feel the ribs moving to the sides. Feel the hips dropping. And then come on up to a table. So put those fingers forward. Get the hands right under your shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide. So we're going to start here today. So we're going to inhale, exhale, tuck your chin, push away from your hands, pull your pelvis, all the air goes out. And then inhale to a flat back, nice long spine. And then exhale, push the chest forward, flex your ankles, reach your chin. All the air goes out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push. Point your feet if you can. Feel your toes pulling into your arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Chest lift, shoulders down, arch. Try to feel your sit bones move to the sides. Inhale takes you to a long back. Exhale, push. Feel the shoulder blades spread to the sides. Feel the waist lengthen. Sit bones are driving into the backs of the legs. Inhale. Return to that long back. Exhale, so lift the stomach and push the chest out. Shoulder blades down. Inhale. One more here. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, arch. Inhale. Now rotate your fingers towards them, towards one another. Nice and wide on the hands again. Inhale. Exhale. Push. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Arch. Shoulder blades down. Push the elbows to the side. Try to find that connection between the bottom of the shoulder blade and the heel of the hand. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull. Belly up. Chin in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push. Pull the belly up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Now rotate the fingers open. Wrists together if you can. Rotate the elbows to the outside. Inhale. Exhale. Push away from your hands. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Arch. Rotate the elbows over your fingers. Shoulder blades down. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Rotate the fingers back. And exhale. Push. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Arch, pulling the elbows back, shoulder blades down, flex. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen, one more. Exhale, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Stay there. Move your knees up. Sit back. Press into your fingers. Pull the heel of your hand off the mat. Breathe. And peel them off. Rotate. I'm sweating. So, if anybody else is sweating out there, just wanted to let you know that that happens when you do that breath like that. Both ways, and then little monkey hand. Backs of the wrists down. Make a fist. Stretch the arms, and then just a little bit of weight there. And peel those, rotate. We're going to do one more, or actually two more stretches for the wrist. For those of you that have been doing foundations, I'm working that line, that hand, that wrist line slowly so that we can start more work. For people that are doing the Ashtanga intensive, it's just part of all that hand work. So your wrists might be kind of sore. All right, so we're going to put our hands behind us. We're going to interlace our fingers, and the first time we're going to turn our thumbs away from our back so that our hands will be like this, but on the floor. Elbows will be to the outside. Turn a little bit sideways. So I'm going to interlace, take my thumbs, turn them back, put them down, and lift my chest up. All right, so for some people, this is no stretch at all. So we have this going on in the wrist, the stretch in the wrist, but also in the front of the shoulders. So just push into your hands and then take your chest up. You're going to push that up. If you've pushed up as far as you can and you still want more stretch, start walking your butt forward. And then the angle of that shoulder is going to become more extreme, the extension of that shoulder, and you'll get that shoulder stretch like you want. But you have to keep the ribs pushing up. You have to keep your hands pressing down. Some of you will not be able to get your arms straight. I can't. The base of my index finger is not on the ground. I'm trying to get it there. I keep lifting and breathing into the chest. I can feel that line pulling across my collarbones, underneath my collarbones, and into that shoulder joint. So just keep lifting and breathing. A little bit longer. Lift up again. Now, if you're having trouble getting your index finger down, and what I want you to do is just open the hands a little bit, try to press the index finger into the ground with the fingers still facing the same way, but maybe not interlaced. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, breathe here. Keep pressing into your arms. Press again. And then release. Ugh. Yeah. So when I'm done, I feel this line on the outside of my forearm to my little finger. That's kind of one of the key components here. You know, the wrist and the shoulder, we have so much mobility in so many different directions. It's hard, like the first ones get, you know, the wrist and the shoulders, and then these last two get the stretch in the rotation. All right, so we're going to do just one more. You're going to interlace, and then you're going to turn them this way. So I'm going to take my thumbs, I'm going to push them towards my back, and then I'm going to open my palms up. Now again, some of you won't be able to do that, so you might have to spread your hands apart, but keep that rotation. So you're going to feel like your lower arm is going to be pointing out and the elbows in. It's mainly just forward and kind of backing in. Just do the best that you can. So interlace, stretch them to straight. I have to open mine up, chest lift, breathe. Now if you're hyperextended in your elbows, once you get into this position, bend your elbows a little bit as you lift your chest. Don't let them lock out. And just breathe here. Pushing the chest up. Again, if you need more shoulder extension, just wiggle the butt forward, keep the elbows bent, breathe. Couple more. And release that. All right, so the hands feel good, and then that gets a little bit more of that outside line. Rotate. I'm kind of at the end of that. My wrists are really free because that rotational stretch is the last one. Now we do a lot of those standing. There's the inside, there's this extension in the Ashtanga series. This is a nice way to address that if you're going to do a practice that's, you know, primarily sitting. All right, so moving back into the child pose, and we're going to keep going with the cats. I think I'm warm enough to take my socks off. So finally into the teens, end of January. Weird, weird, weird. All right, so whipping the legs back into that child pose. Reach the arms forward. Get a little bit of a drink if you need it. going into the big cats. We're going to hold the first position. So, exhale the air, and then inhale, lengthen. Shoulders are over your hands. Stomach is lifted, tailbone is reaching. So we're going to try to put that exhale with the chest reach right here. So take another inhale, and then exhale, pull your stomach up on the exhale and reach that chest forward. Keep your stomach lifted. We're going to do 2 more. So hold on to your belly. Breathe the ribs up. Exhale, pull. 1 more time. Inhale, breathe the ribs forward without letting go of your back. Exhale, pull up again. Inhale, lift the waist. Tuck your toes way under and squash back. So if you've been with me in this foundations class, this is, that. We've been doing this every morning. So just push the heels back. Let the ankles stretch. The front of the ankle is going to be in a big flexion. Really stretch the toes. And then let your inhale pull you back to that table. Tuck your chin in a bit. Exhale, press back, down dog. Now, knees together, feet together, ankles together if you can. Roll the thighs in. Lift the little toes up off the mat. That'll help roll the legs in. Push away from the fingers. Feel the kneecaps lift all the way up to your hip sockets. Just let those legs stretch down the back as you're rotating the legs in. Now inhale. Go up on the balls of the feet as high as you can. Keep the ankle bones reaching towards one another. And then exhale, curl. Pull your chin into your chest. Reach your nose to your belly. Lift your waist up. Try to push that to the ceiling. And then push away from your hands. Get that shoulder flexion. And then inhale. Lengthen, chin reaches forward. Feel the upper back go into an arch or at least flat. And then exhale, press your heels, keep rotating the legs in. Breathe there. Feeling the armpits kind of reaching towards the mat. And then inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, come back. Staying here in this child's pose for a couple of breaths. So we're going to do 4 more of those. But we're going to just go on the inhale, exhale, 1 breath, 1 motion. Excuse me, as soon as your wrists have just a little bit of rest. All right, exhale, and we go. Inhale, lengthen. Feet are extended. Exhale, arch. Pull the stomach as you reach your chest through. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, press back into the feet. Really just let your hips squash and flex. Inhale, pull yourself up, tuck your chin. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, lengthen and lift the chest. Exhale, press back into the heels. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, all the way back. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the chin. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen and lift the chest. Exhale, press through the heels. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, press back. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the chin. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen and lift the chest. Exhale, press through the heels, thighs in. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lift the waist. Tuck the toes. Exhale, press back. Inhale, lift the waist. Tuck the chin. Exhale, press back. Down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen and lift the chest. Exhale, press through the heels. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. Roll yourself up to sitting. Breathe. Just let that circulation flush through you. All those extensions and flexions through all those joints. With all that breathing. All right, moving on to a little bit of the next part of the cats. This can get really difficult, but we're not going to do very much of each part. But I just really like the hip rotations in it, and then the big calf stretches. So reach the hands forward, lift up, tuck the toes, press back to a down dog. Make sure you have a good hand position. And then we're going to shift our weight to our left leg, and we're going to pull our right knee into our nose. Curl, try to get your nose to your knee. That's actually an inhale. And then on the exhale, stretch back, flex, and push the leg out behind you as you're lifting your waist and trying to maintain that nice long back throughout. All right, so inhale, pull, knee to your nose. Exhale, push out. Push down into that standing leg. Inhale, pull, in. Exhale, push and arch. Left heel down. Inhale, pull, nice and slow. Exhale, push. A little faster. Inhale, exhale, push. 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 One more. Inhale, exhale, push. Now rotate up on that left leg. See, I'm moving my hands. You can move your hands. Kind of going almost into a half moon. But we have weight on our hand. Couple more breaths here. Push through that leg. Keep lifting up. Trying to get that pelvis as flat as you can. Pushing that sit bone back and away. Feel the front of that joint. Keep the pelvis, and then just move the leg to the side, and then swing it back. Trying not to drop the right side of your hip forward. So we're going to go exhale, inhale, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale nice and slow, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back. Now we're going to come down onto that left elbow. Let the knee bend. Push through your armpit. Get that left heel to the ground. Let that foot drop. Breathe. Keep trying to push the left hip forward. And then we're going to come out of it, up, take that leg down. And we're going to come down to the mat today. Hands back. Drive your sit bones into the backs of your legs. And then just barely lift that left leg up. So this is for the people that have been doing the foundation. So I'm trying to make my back long so I'm not dropping into my waist. So that's just one thing to think about here. Now if you're good to go, you're going to creep your knee in, both knees in. Back a little further. Creep both knees in. Roll your arms underneath your chest. Keep your neck long. Come up onto your right knee. Left leg up. Same thing. Breathe. Keep pulling with that right knee. Feel your hip flexor. Hands on your chest. Tuck your toe. Push up. Leg down. Couple breaths here. Now lift your belly, pull your tailbone towards your face, and then lower to plank, side arm balance, left arm up, breathe. Inhale, exhale, roll center, lift your belly, and other side. Keep pushing up. Big inhale, lift up, roll back to that plank, and down. Rod, inhale, up dog, chest lift, holding a little bit, pull the shoulders down, stomach up, let your hips go. See if you can hold on to your guts, let the hips drop. And then inhale, lift up, exhale, squash back to a child pose, or roll yourself up to sitting. I'm just going to breathe right here. And then I'm going to grab something to blow my nose with. It's one of the really nice things about the cats. All that chest work, all that upside down stuff. If you have any kind of congestion, it really helps to get everything moving. So just another minute, just sitting here. It's a lot of work on the arms. This is typically something that I really like to work with people to get them ready for anything upside down. All that sustained work on the arms with all those rotations, flexions and extensions. Just really get the shoulder girdle kind of ready for anything. Just a couple more nice big breaths before we do that much on the other side. All right, reach your arms forward. Squash yourself back into that down, actually just into a child pose. Just get that flexion back. Feel the angle at the hip. Push your pelvis into your thighs. Feel your sit bones lift. Just stay there and fold for a second or two or three. Inhale, lift up. Tuck the toes, press back, down dog. Good position with the hands. Thumb and the index finger taking most of the weight. Roll those arms in. Now, shift your weight to your right leg. Pull that left knee in. And then exhale, push it out. And move forward. So keep your hip dropped. Keep the stomach up. Push with the heel. Try to find that sit bone hamstring line. No lifting. Push it out. The push is coming from the hands. And inhale. Curl yourself in. Exhale. Push out. Add an upper back arch. Inhale. Curl the back. Exhale. Push. Inhale. Curl it in. Exhale. Push it out. Inhale. In. Exhale. Out. Now a little faster. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale with your stomach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there. Lift up. Rotate. Gonna stay here. Kneecap is pulling up. Right kneecap. Left hip is lifting. Keep pushing the inside of that right hip socket forward. Trying to get as close to that half moon feeling that you can. Breathe. Push. Now, keep your pelvis, pull your leg to the side, and then inhale up, exhale side. Inhale up, exhale side. Inhale up, exhale side. Inhale up, exhale side. Inhale up, exhale, don't drop your pelvis. Inhale up, exhale side. Inhale up, exhale, last one. Inhale up, exhale side. One more inhale up, then right elbow down, right heel into the ground. Bend the left knee, relax your neck, push away, breathe. Push it out. Push away from your right elbow. And we're going to push up. Come up onto our hands. Just take this leg down today. Going out onto our bellies. Hands back. Drive your sit bones. And then just lift your right leg. Feel that line. Your back is long. Your leg is lifting right at the base of your glute. You're not jamming into your back. You can stay here and just work that. Or pull your knees in. Roll the shoulders under. Get that left leg up. And then extend the right. Keep the heel reaching. Breathe, stomach tight. Hands for your chest. Push it up. Take it down. Breathe in the down dog. Drop your head. Try to find a release. All right, pull the legs together. Good hand position. Pull your belly up, tailbone to your face, lower to plank, and then we're going to go rod, push up, inhale, back. We're only going to do 5. You can put your knees down if you want. So inhale and exhale. Pull the tailbone, lengthen out, all the way down. Inhale up, exhale back. Another inhale, exhale. Pull the tailbone, lengthen out, down you go, push, and back. Inhale, exhale, pull, lengthen, down, push. One more. Inhale, exhale, pull, lengthen, down, up, and back. Coming down to sit and rest. Feels good. My arms are pretty done. Haven't done that in a while. Couple more breaths. I really enjoy these moments of sitting after working like that. The relaxation is really complete. You can feel parts of your body drop that were not there before, drop down before. You can feel the circulation really clearly. It's good. All right. The last part of this class is going to just be pretty much working into just a nice easy straddle, or a big giant straddle if you want. So we're going to come forward, tuck our toes, and then just press back and into a squat. We're going to get our heels down. And you're just going to drop your head forward. And just allow your back and your legs to absorb that. Just a couple more. And then reach forward and lift the sit bones up, knees straight. Pull the kneecaps, walk the hands back a bit to see where that forward bend is. Creep the feet in. You can walk your hands back a little bit more. Rolling the thighs. And then we're going to come out, take the feet a little bit wider, and then another squat. Push the knees open to the sides. So your feet are turned out 45. How wide are they? Maybe 8 inches apart. Just breathe. Let your hips settle. Keep the arches lifted. If you feel like you're rolling too much to the inside of that arch, having that whole line drop, you'll feel your knee rotate in. If that's the case, you have to de-rotate your feet a bit. Maybe be a little bit less than 45. Reaching forward, push your hips back up, take the feet back to the front, creep them in, kneecaps left, lengthen your spine, and one more forward bend. All right, one more. So wherever your feet were, you want to go just a little bit wider. All right, remember, feet are open, but not so open that you can't keep the arches lifted. And down you go. Breathe. All right, push up. Slowly shift the weight forward before you straighten those legs. Keep your feet turned out. We're just going to rock back and forth a little bit. Knees are lifted. Just feels good. Sit bones up. When my legs are turned out, I'm getting a little stretch up through the side of the leg into that fibular head. I need that. A lot of you don't need that. Just to kind of open that line a bit. And then rotate the feet back to the front. Same thing. Although this line should feel pretty open after all those cats. So I'm just pushing my sit bones up and just letting myself rock in my hips. And then coming down to your mat. Now, get your bolster. And we're going to sit on the end of it. Soles of the feet together. Come way to the end of it. So we're in a tailor sit, but we're up on a bolster or a pillow. You could be on your block. Some of you don't need this, but what's nice about being a little higher, especially if you're trying to work this and you don't have that nice flat chest to the ground, is that you can feel your pelvis rotate, tilt forward. And as it tilts forward, you get a little bit of weight going forward. Like if your low back and hips are super tight, then you never get this nice forward pitch over your feet. All right, so if you don't need this, just slide right off of your bolster, which we'll be doing here in a second. This whole thing will be on the bolster, off the bolster. So what we're doing though is we're taking our pelvis and pushing it forward to an anterior tilt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do little butterflies with our knees. So we're just going to pull, 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 pull in the hip sockets while we're pitched forward. Couple more. Now on this last one, pull down with your muscles. Just squeeze. You're using your rotators, your external rotators, to try to pull those knees to the ground. Pull them as far down as you can. Stay there. Pitch forward a little bit more. Keep pulling. And then you're going to come up and pull the legs in. Squash them in parallel. Just stay here for a minute or so. But while we're here, you're not just pulling your knees into your chest. You're taking your pelvis and you're pushing your pelvis forward into your thighs. So I'm really active here, pushing forward, trying to feel. If you try to push your chest through your knees, you'll feel what I'm talking about. So if you push your chest, you'll feel the whole pelvis coming forward. You'll feel your sit bones push into that bolster a little bit more. So just stay there a couple of breaths. And release that. Going back to where we were. Soles of the feet together. Pull them open. This time, you're going to try to creep your butt forward. Till you're at the very, very end of your mat. And see then if you can get your sit bones on the ground. Now, that just depends on how far forward your feet started out with, but I kind of started where I was, and right now my sit bones are just barely touching, but I'm getting a super good stretch right here, and that bolster is really helping my pelvis go forward. So now I want you to inhale up and then just exhale, go as far forward as you can. This is it for me. No, maybe not. Alright, now we're going to come up, pull the legs in, and then just send them long forward. Flex, push the pelvis forward, and then just hold this easy forward bend. If you want, you can reach down and grab your toes, and then pull back with the shoulders, push your toes against your fingers, and then use that to pull your pelvis forward and your chest through. So we're just getting the feeling of the pelvis folding in this forward bend. And then come on up. And then remember, you don't have to be on the bolster, but I like this variation, and for those of you that need it, it's really quite effective. So we're going to come back up onto the bolster or to the block, and we're going to pull our left leg back into a hero. Now, if you don't have a good hero, then it's nice to be up on this block. So just think about this leg. Our knee is right across from our socket. Our heel is on the outside of our hip. And then I want you to try to pull the thigh back and into the socket. As you do that, you'll feel your whole chest and pelvis go forward. Take your other leg up. So pull the socket, pull the left thigh in, and the whole chest will go forward towards that right leg. Sit up nice and tall. Just keep working that left hip back. So I'm not letting that go. I'm just constantly pulling that thigh back and into the socket. So what's happening is I'm accessing my inner thigh on my left leg, and then also my hip flexor, which is helping to pull the pelvis forward. And then while you're working that, see if you can release the rotators and the quad. Now we're going to pull this knee with our left hand. Take your hand behind you and just easy twist. So we're going to inhale up and then exhale. Try to pull the left side of the ribs in and forward as you pull your right shoulder blade back. So the inhale goes straight up, and then the exhale, we close the left ribs into that right thigh and we pull our right shoulder back. Inhale up, exhale. There's no forward leaning here. We're just a straight spine trying to rotate up or back. Inhale, exhale, pulling the ribs and the shoulders. Left thigh. Have you let go of that? I have. Pull that left thigh back and in. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, as you pull the ribs and shoulder, then pull that left hip back and into the socket. And then all of a sudden the twist starts to become even more effective. 2 more. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, pull the left rib, pull the right shoulder blade, and then pull that left thigh in. 1 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, rib cage, shoulder blade, thigh in. Breathe normal here. Then we're going to let that go. Let that right knee kind of drop to the side. Pick that left leg up. Slide off of your bolster. Now we're going into this pretty wide diamond. So my feet are way out in front of me. I'm just going to take a little pitch forward and do baby butterflies for that internal rotation relief for that left leg. And then just hang forward. And come up. So these are just little counter moves. The big counters are embedded in the series for me. So coming back up onto your bolster. Sorry. Pull that right knee in. Looking for my water. All right, so just thinking about the left leg at first. There's a lot of components to it, really. So your heel's on the outside of your hip. You're rolling that thigh in. You know, if you have any issues with your knees, being up on a bolster really helps. If you don't have any issues and you're just sitting flat in hero, great. Once you have that, pull that left leg up. All right, now hold on to it. So as we pull that right knee, the whole right thigh in and back to the socket, so that right thigh is rolling in and then we're pulling it back. And as you do that, you can see my chest going forward. I'm going forward into my left leg. Well, I want you to just do that one more time. Pull the thigh in. Feel your pelvis going forward. Now just stay there. Feel that forward position and then take the spine nice and tall. So your sit bones are pressing into the bolster or into the floor. You can feel that pretty easily. And if you let go of everything, what happens is the whole system rocks back, your low back goes into a C curve. You could feel your sit bones rock. That's what's nice about this bolster. All right, so pull it in, push forward. If you have a really flat hero, you can feel that also. But you have to have both sit bones down on the ground. Okay, so grab a hold of the left knee, with your right hand. Put your left hand back. And now we're going to go into that twist. All right, so we're going to inhale, push up, push forward. And then exhale, take the right rib cage to that left knee on the exhale and pull your left shoulder open. And then pull that right thigh back and into the socket. So 3 actions for every breath. Inhale, we go up. Exhale, right rib cage, left shoulder blade, pull the hip back. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, right rib cage, left shoulder blade, pull the hip back. Try not to let go of that, but it's hard not to let go when you're doing the other things. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, rib cage, pulling in, left shoulder blade pulling back, hip, thigh, pulling back and into the socket. 3 more. Inhale, pushing straight up. Exhale, ribs, shoulder blade, socket. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, ribs, shoulder blade, pull the socket. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, right ribs, left shoulder blade, socket. Just 1 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, right ribs, left shoulder blade, socket. Stay there. And let it go. Left knee drops. Pull that right leg to straight. Slide off of your bolster. Knees are long. Push your sit bones back. Forward bend. Easy forward bend. Creeping the lower part of your ribs forward. And if you just feel the lower part trying to reach your feet, you'll feel your pelvis push forward, sit bones, go back. That's what you want. If you want to grab your toes, go ahead, but make sure you don't round your spine. Pull the shoulder blades back. Keep the chest reaching. Breathe. And release that by coming up to vertical. And we're going to pull ourselves back and up onto that bolster 1 more time. All right. So this time we're going to take our feet into a flex. So toes, ankle is flexed, toes are down, heels are forward. So we're here. Now we're going to work one leg at a time though. So pull this right foot in a little bit more so you feel like your toes and your ankle are kind of in a line. You can see that. I can move this leg over. I'm just going to kind of be here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand just underneath your heel. Now my foot is pretty much, my heel is about 2 inches away from the bolster. I'm going to push that heel forward with my hand, and I'm going to just try to pull that knee down a bit. But I'm not going to push it down. I'm going to pull it down with my muscles as I lean forward. So I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on the knee because I'm pulling it with my own muscles and rotating the heel. So there's a torque going on around the knee. This isn't necessarily bad for the knee. This is good for the knee. What's not good is when you do this and you're running or you're twisting. You have weight on it. Here what we're doing is we're just giving a little bit of stretch to the natural motion of the knee. There is a slight internal external rotation of the lower leg on the knee. It's very small. And you can see, you know, my shin is pretty much in line with my thigh. So how much of a rotation is it? Not much. Hardly, it's maybe 1/4 of an inch. What does happen though is when your foot's in this position and you're trying to pull the knee down, you feel a different stretch in your hip. That's what we're doing here. We're using this foot position to get that whole thigh rotated in a slightly different way. And then also it's really good on your foot. You feel a stretch through here. We don't usually stretch that part of our foot, especially when our toes are flexed like this. And then we're going to come up, stretch that knee long, and then we're going to work that left leg. So pull the toes in as close to the bolster as you can. Put your left hand on your heel, your right hand on your heel. This leg can stay out, but I get a better balance if I pull it in. All right, so I'm pushing my heel forward just a little bit. My knee doesn't feel any strain. I do feel a little bit of stretch though on the outside, right at the fibular head, which I definitely need. And so then we're just going to use our muscle to try to pull that knee down, just like we did with those little butterflies. And you're leaning forward, heels forward. Couple more breaths. And then come up. Pull the legs in. Stretch them long just to let the knees go for a second. We're going to go to one more of those. So we're going to pull both feet in. Pull them in. Scoot yourself forward. Get your feet in the best position that you can. I'm putting both hands behind my heels and I'm going to lean forward. Knees are open. Now some of you that are sitting, you know, can actually come up a little higher than this. You can push your sit bones forward, put a little bit more weight on it. But if you're new to this, don't put any weight on it. Just lean and pull. Couple more. I'm pulling with my legs. I'm not just pitching forward. I'm pulling with my outer thighs, trying to get my knees rotated to the floor. And pull them in. Now we're gonna come forward, tuck the toes, press back to a down dog. And then coming back down, just sit in hero. Let those thighs rotate in. Make sure the heels are on the outside. Just relax those sockets for a minute, because this is constant, like internal rotation, external rotation. We're only going to be here about 30 seconds. But see if you can just let go of the hips. Now I like to pull one thigh in and then pull the other thigh in to feel that. And then I pull both thighs in, keep the pelvis forward, send the chest up. Try to relax the outsides of the hips. So when you're in the hero, there's a slight inward rotation in the knee. So what we did was a little outward rotation. This is a little inward rotation. Very small. That's why you need to keep this heel on the outside of your thigh. People that rotate and throw the feet to the sides, some people have sockets that can take that. I get sick just thinking about it, but the further the foot is away, the more torque there is on the knee. Here my knees are just bent. And then I'm rotating at the hips. And then there's just a little bit of rotation at the knee, very small. All right, and we're gonna come forward, tuck the toes again, press back to that downward dog just to give yourself some relief through the knees. Pull your bolster forward and then come down. Send the legs long into a straddle, and then all we're going to do is just come forward, head on the bolster, head on your arms, head on the floor. And roll yourself up. I know that wasn't very long, just a little bit of release in the back. Throw your knees over the bolster, and we're just going to lay down for 1 minute. So I want you to pay attention to your back. Take a big inhale through your belly, and then exhale, let go of your low back. Corpse. Breathe. Take a big inhale. Roll to your right side. Yeah, press yourself up to sitting. And that's it, everybody, for this cold January morning. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Namaste.